The ideas that gave birth to our nation are the ideas that our nation is resistant to right now, and we should talk about that all the time.
In a world where narratives are shaped by corporations and gatekeepers, independent voices matter more than ever. Badlands Media brings together citizen journalists, researchers, and independent thinkers.
The truth is triggering.
Question the narrative. Explore the facts.
It's authenticity, courage, resilience.
Search for the truth others won't.
It's not about being first or being right.
The information war is changing.
It's about being authentic.
Embrace the friction.
Embrace the friction.
Shut the f*** up.
Authentically antagonizing. Join the movement.
I'm going to say how I feel.
Follow Badlands Media.
This is about the future.
The Badlands. What are the Badlands? Explain those Badlands. That's a hell of a name.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am officially running for President of the United States, and we are going to make our country great again. Watch it. Watch those ballots. Watch what's going on. You don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
To peacefully and patriotic
Vagina.
You know, none of this is real, right?
You, sir, can eat a bag of dicks.
Give me liberty or give me death.
Baby, see you in the OnlyLands.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the OnlyLands. What's up, brosifs?
Hello, John. Hello, Zach. Did you get
like
your stream turned off?
Yeah. So, here's the thing. You guys can see that my studio is totally empty. I'm actually getting divorced. Lisa broke up with me, and all of that was caught on stream because the microphone was still on and it kept going for 3.5 hours and I'm moving out of my house. I'm just fucking with you. I'm totally joking. But yes.
What's actually going on with all your stuff?
Well, I got a new desk, and so I have to like move everything around. So here's the thing. Rumble Studio 9 times out of 10, or rather 99% of the time, operates exactly as you expect it to. But then that one time that I don't stick around my office after hitting end stream, it just continues to go. Now, it was muted, so there was like, nothing that would have like doxed us or anything like that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she walked by the camera naked one time when it was like still streaming. That was fucking hilarious. Yeah, but I mean the camera was off, so I mean like nobody would have seen that. But that's like her worst fear. She will never come in. She's like, make sure you're not streaming. You had to call the guy at Pill to like make sure she's not on. Oh God, yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay, yeah.
You didn't hear anything she said. So
she said you had to call the guys at Pilled and make sure that her tatas weren't all over the internet. we weren't, but so then like we got the file and I was like, oh thank God. But yeah, so anyways, I hit end stream and then I like went and immediately got us dinner and then I started like breaking my studio down, and so I just wasn't paying attention. I got like 5 monitors, and so yeah, then I get in here and Cam, it would have been, you have my number, bro. Would have been awesome for you to call me like
Jackie
3.5 hours
Jackie
ago.
told me right before the stream started, so she was like, when you go on the stream before it started. Honestly, that's the reason I was on time, because she told me to tell you before stream. Don't think I was actually going to be on time.
That's funny. I wonder how Cece is the one who told me, so I wonder how she found out. Somebody must have said something in the chat.
All of the baddies were probably like in their private chat like 2 hours ago. Like, Zach is so fucking stupid. His stream is still going. Let's just see how long it takes him.
Well, on my Rumble page, I have my feed and I follow your channel, so it's like one of the first things that's up there when it's live, so you can see it. So I think that's how Jackie saw it.
Okay, that could be it.
I have accidentally left some DPHs on through the night before it happens. Happens to the best of us. But how come they could hear you talking though?
I don't know that they could hear me talking because
anyone could hear you.
Yeah, I had like the panic button on. And this is one of the reasons that I use the panic button, is because that one time that I was streaming for like 3 hours and Lisa and I were talking about the dogs and dinner and stuff, and you could like hear us in the background, nothing that we needed to worry about or anything, but still it was like annoying to go in and have to fix that everywhere.
Yeah, that is annoying. But anyway, Cam, where you been, man? Haven't seen you in a while.
Vacation, man. RT Jones said that my volume's too low. Can you guys hear me? You can hear me fine, right?
Yeah, you sound good.
Yeah.
Maybe RT Jones is just used to blacks talking at an elevated level.
I'll talk a little bit high. No, I'm just kidding. No, we went to Deadwood, obviously. We didn't leave until that Tuesday. Then we immediately left on Friday, went down to Brian and Christie's, came back on Tuesday of the next week. That was like the 10th. Then on the 13th, we went down to Clearwater Beach, stayed there for a week with Jackie's mom and her brother came to visit. And then we came back at the end of July.
Jeez.
And it's been this last week.
You guys are all over the place.
Yeah, man. It's been fun.
Must be nice. CanCon's never invited me to his place before.
He probably has. He says, I've invited everybody. You're just the only one that showed up. And Ash, I think, came one time. Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, well, that's cool. Matt, what have you been up to, bro?
Just hanging out and enjoying the lazy, low, super hot days of Arizona summer here in the Phoenix Valley. And, there's not much you can do when the temperature is as hot as it is. You go outside and you sort of mosey along, but it's nice. It's refreshing. It reminds you that life is brittle, and out in the sun you could burn up. There was a guy that 36 years climbing Camelback Mountain here, which is a notorious killer in the heat, and 36 years he was climbing it. Pardon me?
Like legit people die there all the time?
All the time people die there, but most of them are like out of towners, and they come during the summer and they get out on the trail and they die of heat. This guy was 36 years he'd been climbing it. He's almost a native, and he's my age, and he goes out with plenty of water, and he croaked on the trail. They found him dead from heat exposure. It just past a certain point, you start to bake in the sun, and it just bakes your body, and there's nothing you can do about it. So
is that the place where those body positive influencers recently were like rescued with a chopper?
Probably.
Okay.
I didn't hear about that, but that sounds like something that would happen.
I'll actually find the clip because it's kind of entertaining. I mean, when these girls start out, you're like, don't do it, girls. Like, I can already tell you this is a bad idea. Like, more power to you. I understand you want to like get out there and do stuff, but they were choosing to do something that was far beyond their capabilities and their circumstances.
What is a body positive influencer?
It's just people who pretend that like it's healthy to be like overweight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unattractive people trying to push unattractiveness on the rest of society.
Well, Cam, but you're black. Let's be honest. I mean, just because you're a bigger girl doesn't mean that you're, bad looking. Okay. I mean like what I'm saying here is like, know your limits, right? I mean, like don't go do something that is an advanced course if, you're going to get tired going up the stairs.
It's like, I feel like that was a little racist. What are you trying to say about black people?
Oh, it was totally racist. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Anytime the conversation lags, we just get out the air pump and pump some racism into it. Keep things going.
That's how we've gotten here, man. 250 years of this shit, and it's still working.
What do they call them? Cam? Pogs?
Pogs?
Fat ass white girl?
Oh.
With a P?
I was thinking of Pogs, like the little game, the little things.
There's no kids. You know what? The only Pogs that I have are O.J. Simpson Pogs. I've got one that's he's not guilty and then guilty.
Oh man.
Okay, I will find this.
No, please do.
I mean,
I got sunburnt.
We might have 2 new soft disclosure ads for you guys tonight.
Soft disclosure helps with sunburns. Trust me, my shoulders were destroyed after Clearwater.
Yeah, that vanilla coffee extract, that thing that you put on your foot, that amazing stuff. Everybody should check that out. Serious.
Did you say vanilla coffee extract?
What was it called? Vanilla. Yeah, I got it right here. Yeah. Vanilla coffee, soft disclosure, the tallow bar.
Oh yeah, I was literally
tallow bar.
Vanilla coffee extract.
You put this on my face after I go out in the sun, because I actually go out in the sun. I believe some sun exposure is good, so I go out every day in the sun. I go to the park, and I get some, but then I try to get out of the sun pretty quickly, especially before your sun heats up. If you're gonna go out, usually I wear a big brim hat. The key is to keep yourself in the shade, to survive. And that, like, it's weird that the environment's so harsh around here that you learn like some wisdom just going out on walking around the trail. Like saguaros are your friend. Saguaros will give you shade. They're thick enough to give you shade. And if you got a little camp stool, you can sit and you keep moving it, But shade saves your life when you're out on the trail. If you got shade and water, you can survive. And it becomes something you have to think about at some point. Well, in weather like this, it's weird. It's like I never thought I'd have to think about that, but I do.
So I read an interesting study the other day, Matt. The climate scientists, they tell us that the reason that we have this heat wave is because of climate change. It's man-made induced climate change due to, carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. That obviously doesn't make any sense. However, there is an actual measure that we have that can explain the intensity of the sun's rays reaching the earth. And that is the reduction in particulates in the atmosphere, because over the course of the last 30 years, they've been on a mission to reduce emissions, to reduce, all kinds of, smoke and particles that go up into the sky. And because of that, they can actually show that there is more sunlight that's hitting the earth, and that is causing a slowdown in the jet stream so that you don't have this natural movement. You go back years and people were just burning stuff and making fires and never thinking about it. Probably a lot of campfires outside, trash fires and such. And now basically we're killing ourselves because we are doing too good at saving the environment.
Yeah, that Bill Gates is going to save us, though. He's going to recreate the conditions of all that particulate matter in the air.
Yes,
right? That's what they want to do. They want to dim the sun, right? And
what is this?
A bunch of particulate. So they're going to do it whether we want or not.
Yeah, I always feel like CO2 is something we needed more of, not less of.
Oh no, we definitely do.
Ever since I was a kid and I learned chemistry, I was like, that doesn't make any sense why we wouldn't want.
Cold is always a way bigger danger. Cold is always a bigger danger to human life than
heat. Well, heat is energy.
Well, the more CO2, the more plant life, and then the more like shade that you're going to have. I mean, there's just like a cycle that obviously exists. And if you just take out one thing, then obviously you're going to screw up the entire system. Okay.
Yeah. And if we had an actual downturn in the climate towards colder temperatures, which does happen periodically, we have evidence to say that. And we've gone ahead and dimmed the freaking sun too. Because of our human arrogance, like some kind of sci-fi, plot of the tragic flaw of humans thinking they could do things, and it all just screwed them because it made things super cold, and the North Atlantic gyre stopped working, and Europe froze into but we should not tinker with that. We did tinker with it in the Industrial Revolution, and up to the end of we did tinker with it. We can say we got lucky. We don't know. Maybe the Earth's climate is stable. We don't know how stable it is. We don't know how much it can slosh around in a certain range and be restored and stay within that range. Versus, the fear mongers want to say it's sort of metastable. They would say so. It's like the climate's a little bit stable, but if you push it a little too much, it could flip into a whole nother thing, whole nother zone of climate, right? And that's what that. And the answer is we don't know which of those is true. Those are two different kinds of complex systems, and we don't know. And the idea is, well, we need the precaution. We need the precautionary. We need to assume it's metastable and not stable. And so we need to act like we've been super lucky not to have kicked it into an ice age or whatever. And we need to therefore we need climate management, and therefore we need world government.
Can somebody explain what happened here?
Yes. I was just waiting for my in. So this is an example of a young man, a man who got into a little bit of trouble while he was hiking. He hiked himself out of the mountains 10 miles with this pole stuck through his side and his back. Okay. And then, of course, you have the influencers.
I'm Grace, and this is me hiking a trail. Before I hike a trail.
No way. Oh my gosh. We're not getting any lift.
Looks like Yosemite.
So that's a cow. That's a cow. That's a cow.
Oh yeah.
I'm Grace.
Okay, so there was there was a group of them. There was like 4 of them. I couldn't find the full video, but that one chopper ride was 70 grand. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Seriously? So this is why I'm saying, know your limits, because if you go out into the mountains and you have to be rescued, you are going to pay for that fuel and for the time that pilot has to come out there and rescue you. And then, of course, you probably are going to have a couple of EMTs that are going to come out and make sure that you're okay. But
Dude,
it's just.
We need some mountain helicopter sponsors. 70 grand, they are making bank.
They are. They absolutely are, John. So when we have the Badlands commune, we will own a fleet of helicopters, and we will cater to, I guess, townies that think that they can go up.
We'll lift cows. We'll go lift cows of any species, any type of cow.
We can do badrescues.com.
Yeah,
there we go. Website for that one. And we can do bad tour guides.
Mm-hmm.
For the hiking trail, we can.
I don't know about bad tour guide
to force them to have to call search and rescue. We can have monopoly on both sides. This is brilliant.
Yeah, I think it'll work.
But speaking of sponsors, I got a few good ones for you here tonight. Let's start with Earth Echo, and then we're gonna get into some new soft disclosure ads. This episode is brought to you by Cacao Bliss from Earth Echo, a ceremonial grade cacao drink that works wonders for your heart and your arteries. Your doctor checks your cholesterol and blood pressure, but one thing he doesn't measure may predict how long you actually live. Talking about the biological age of your arteries. Arteries age differently than the rest of your body. Someone who is 60 can have arteries of a 45-year-old or an 80-year-old. And a new discovery from Harvard shows you can actually lower the age of your arteries. They wanted to know why a tribe called the Kuna people has 1/10 the heart attack rates of America. It wasn't their genetics or lifestyle. They traced it to something they drink 5 times a day, something called raw ceremonial cacao, which is rich in flavanols that combat inflammation in your heart and arteries. So if you want to worry less about your heart, start drinking cacao. This is the purest ceremonial cacao you can find, and it is packed with 7 additional superfoods. Plus, it's just 35 calories, and it tastes like chocolate. Learn more Get your special discount and free shipping today at trycacaobliss.com/badlands.
Yes. Dark chocolate is awesome for you. Jessica is in. She's give a talk about nutritional dark matter. She calls it, which is like all these tens of thousands of organic compounds that are in our food that we hardly even know what they do and how they help regulate the body. And cacao and dark chocolate is full of a bunch of them that we barely know what it does. And so this is we're just beginning to sort of just go through this continent of these kind of compounds. So Cacao Bliss, check it out. It's anything dark chocolate, but our sponsors are better and they're America first. So you should get your helping of these really awesome organic chemicals. And it's not just the chemicals by themselves, it's how they come together. It's like we have become a species in the context of these chemicals existing and how they come together. And they come together in foods. They come together in cacao packages them together the way our bodies can use all these things to self-regulate. So
that also ties into soft disclosure, because when it comes to the stuff that you put on your skin, it's literally the same thing but for your skin.
Yes, absolutely. I actually believe in this. I think Jessica loves this. All right.
Heck yeah. Awesome. New soft disclosure ad. We have 2 of them for you tonight. We're going to do the first one now.
Court is now in session.
Your Honor, the defense calls Mr. Dry Skin G-Money to the stand.
We're going to pretend I didn't hear that.
Mr. Dry Skin, isn't it true that soft disclosure is proudly made right here in the United States while directly supporting 6 American small businesses?
I reckon.
Isn't it also true that soft disclosure is made with honest, natural ingredients without the harsh chemicals so many people are trying to avoid?
Unfortunately.
And isn't it true it's made with the help of adorable baby goats?
Can't argue with the goats.
The court reminds the gallery that livestock will conduct themselves appropriately.
Bless your flaky little heart, Mr. Dry Skin. Your Honor, the defense would like to submit Exhibit A.
Proceed.
Cindy H. writes, honestly, the best lotion I've ever used.
Exhibit A is admitted.
Exhibit B, I use it on my face and hands, get compliments on looking much younger.
Mr. Drake, I appreciate your enthusiasm.
Not greasy at all. Clean feel compared to other lotions. Vanilla citrus has a nice light scent.
Well, that is just showing off.
Tyrone writes, I find myself hydrating my elbows and moisturizing my soul a lot more frequently now. The defense rests.
I say there will be order in this court.
That's
so good. Starts just outdoing himself.
Yes, he sure is. I can't wait to see the other one.
Yeah, we have another one. This is that was just the next one, but this is the back to school one. So I guess I'll just do that right now.
Okay.
And you're getting 2 awesome soft disclosure premieres tonight. If that doesn't encourage you to buy soft disclosure, I don't know what will.
Soft Disclosure deodorant is made with purity-tested ingredients like organic arrowroot powder, magnesium hydroxide, and nourishing plant oils. This deodorant keeps you fresh without covering up the truth. Activated charcoal works like a magnet to help draw out impurities, while green matcha tea brings antioxidant power to protect and calm skin. Aluminum-free, stain-free, and formulated to last up to 2 months of daily use.
Whole bus fresh, no steak on me. Soft disclosure got me clean. Fresh so loud, can't compete. Mint, lemon, grapefruit, lavender tea.
It helps fight odor without blocking the body's natural sweat. And every purchase helps support 6 American small businesses. Buy 2 deodorants, get a free lip balm. Or visit softdisclosure.com and use promo code FRESH for 15% off.
What are you doing?
Soft disclosure got me clean. Fresh so loud, can't compete.
So good. Those are actual pictures.
That was amazing.
Yeah, those were actual pictures of us as kids.
How did they? Oh, the scheme that went into that.
That ending is underrated. Ending with the beard oil.
So good. So good. And those are all original songs. Like if you go to Suno, There's like a whole playlist of the Badlands songs. It's awesome. So good. But I need to speak to somebody about how they got my pictures in there.
I completely forgot about that assignment. I found one picture of myself from when I was a kid on my phone. I can't wait for my mom to see that because she'll know that picture.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. Too funny. All right. Anyway, what should we talk about tonight? Did you guys see that Joe Rogan had a guest on last night that talked about today that talked about devolution?
I did. Yes. I was a little disappointed that she didn't go any further. I mean, she's like an establishment hack, really.
Oh,
so
yeah. She's not retarded too, I think. Yeah. I wonder if we're going to get taken down if I play part of this.
I don't know. There's a lot of people who steal Joe Rogan stuff, and it's all over YouTube.
Okay, well, let's just play this part.
So, what happens next? What happens next? And why aren't we learning about it?
They don't have any plans for what happens after anarchy and chaos?
They do. They just don't have it in the declassified games. And that's what there's a plan called the devolution plan.
Oh.
Eyebrows up for a reason.
I don't like that word.
Think about evolution.
Yeah.
Now put a D in front of it.
Yeah.
Instead of going forward, you're going backward. So you've heard of DEFCON, right?
Yes.
Okay, so DEFCON, Defense Readiness Condition, there's 5. 5 is the lowest. That's like normal every day. At 9/11, we were at 3. DEFCON 1 means nuclear war. There's a separate structure of readiness condition called COGCON. Probably haven't heard of it because it's classified.
That's not true.
Stands for Continuity of Government Readiness Condition. It's got 4 levels. 4 is every day. 1 is insurrection. The Insurrection Act gets declared. COGCON 1 is in effect, and the devolution plan happens, which I learned means a subset of pre-designated officials. They know who they are. They've signed contracts. They've rehearsed it. They go out. In the words of the former FEMA director, COGCON 1, you send your devolution crews out. They go out to a hot site, warm site, or cold site, underground bunkers located around the United States. This is from an actual FEMA chief telling me this.
Okay, you get the gist. We'll talk about this more tomorrow on the Power Hour, but I thought that was interesting that now Joe Rogan has talked about devolution, or I guess on the show has.
Didn't Eddie Bravo bring it up on his show before?
He might have mentioned it briefly in passing, and I've talked to Eddie Bravo quite a bit. It's like, dude, when's he gonna make that next step and talk about devolution? Doesn't even have to be me. Like, you go on there and do it. He's like, I don't know, man. He's just hesitant with some of that stuff. And here they go balls deep with this chick.
So, John, what did you think of what she said? What's your opinion about what she said?
Overtly,
Yeah.
like generally, she's explaining the concept. I would say half accurate, fairly accurate, like enough to like get somebody interested and like get the general idea. But like some of the details, man, she read this somewhere and was like, "Oh, I'm now going to like regurgitate that." But I don't. That wasn't my work, like that's not how I interpret it. But whatever. It's
Was she
talking
correct
about
about
mainstream.
COGCON?
I don't think COGCON's classified. That was the one that the day before
you said,
the day before Joe Biden got inaugurated, that text went out where they changed the COGCON level. Like where she said COGCON 1 is basically a nuke, and then COGCON 4 is things are like normal. It's not necessarily just a nuke. It could be a whole bunch of different things.
She said insurrection, I think is the word she used for that. The nuke is for DEFCON, right?
Oh, is that what she said? Okay.
Yeah. So, but COGCON, the word she used was insurrection.
And there's no proof that the Insurrection Act directly gets signed because of something to do with COGCON. Like that's not out there publicly anywhere anyway. I mean, it could be, but
it felt like somebody who believed that January 6th was like the darkest day in American history, and she was trying to draw these threads that would make people think about that. Like as if there is going to be an insurrection in the United States and we're going to kill everybody. And then, of course, the government has to go underground.
Yeah. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
just
you
kind of
figure
cool that
all
it's being
these
brought
things
up.
will be weaponized against us. So anything we agree to is going to be a weapon.
Well, that's what makes me think, like, why is this being taught? Because I think all these mainstream podcasters are ops of some sort. So, like, what's the op here? What's the play? What are they? They're talking about devolution. I don't know.
Maybe this is the moment. This is the moment where they take it, and then they introduce it as a subject you can talk about, and then they erase you from the internet, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of your work is for naught.
Oh, I don't think that's true. We got a pretty good community.
No,
here.
it won't. It won't be.
Know.
This is the plan. This is the op, is what I'm talking
It's
about.
there to compete with your devolution theory.
Yeah, maybe.
For,
I mean,
for
I
mine.
don't care about that either. You know, like it's not a competition. If we're gonna start talking about it, I appreciate people talking about it accurately. You know.
Well, that's the whole op, is to make sure that it's inaccurate so that people can't go down the right path. Just muddy the waters. Whenever you hear the word devolution, you think of like 4 different nonsense theories.
Yeah.
And then also the theory that you have.
Yeah, we'll talk about it more tomorrow. I just thought it was cool. I wanted to show it on here.
Yeah, it was good. Thanks, John.
Yeah. What else happened this week? Did you see Hunter Biden making his redemption tour?
Still.
Did you see the interview you did today? Or
No.
yesterday?
No.
I have it pulled up.
I saw he was out on tour, though.
Take a listen to this.
We're going to have to start hating him again. I don't know why.
Nah. Not relevant enough for me to hate.
I know. It's all theater. I'm just sort of like, the script will call for us to hate him.
I get it.
Yeah. Listen to this.
There's an email to me, like, hey, 10% for the big guy, all that bullshit. You know when that happened? My dad was neither president or vice president. I went to go into business with a couple guys that I did not get into business to. And one of them sent me a email that said, what about 10% for the big guy? And I didn't do business with those guys, but not because of that. They were trying to get my dad involved in a business deal that I was in, a totally legitimate business deal. What the fuck is wrong with that? I ask everybody, you got a problem with that? My dad's no longer vice president, president. Do you got a problem with that? He's not, he's not in elected office. I'm a Yale educated lawyer going into business, doing something that I would have been proud of. It had to do with natural gas. It had to do with the production here in the United States.
That's the thing. I guess it would depend on what the business deal was.
To make money.
I could see it being a problem if it was with a company that was against
I
US
actually
interests.
do. Okay, but my point is this. My point is this. Let me finish the point, but real quick. Here's the point. Is that I said no to the whole deal, but that is literally the only thing in 22 years that you will ever find. They had every email, every text message, every deleted text message, every voicemail, every deleted voicemail, literally everything for 20 years. Not a single instance in which you will find me emailing someone or someone emailing me saying, hey, I need my dad to get to do this on behalf of this person that I'm getting paid for. Not one. And I think that's dispositive evidence.
I agree with you. And I get.
So why don't we
do it that way.
produce that email where he declines to go into business? Oh my God, you want to use my father? Nothing. That doesn't exist. Hunter Biden and the Biden crime family are smart enough to not specifically elucidate the exact nature of their quid pro quo relationship on an email. Okay.
There's a way to do it.
I actually
There's a way
disagree.
to
I think they did do it. I think I can prove it via email.
Oh, okay.
Well,
All right.
I have an old thread.
Everybody screws up.
Do it.
They're not that clever, these guys.
Yeah, let me show you this.
I think over a long enough timeline, somebody's going to slip up somewhere. But I think that my
they're not
point
like
is
Skull and Bones level.
Yeah,
stuff.
they're
This
like
is-
structuring their conversation so as to, not be so overt.
Yeah, this is a
Gotta do
thread
better than
from May of 2023. So this is like fairly old. But I was doing my thing where I went through all the emails from Hunter Biden. I got through about 75% of them, I think, and then I got distracted by other things. But so back in, I'll buzz through this quickly. November 29th, 2015, Hunter attends a breakfast meeting with Devin Archer, Vadim Pizarski, and Sally Painter. And I'm sure you guys are familiar with Vadim. He's like the fixer for Burisma. Sally Painter is the co-founder of Blue Star Strategies. All those emails are out here. And this was after that Hunter and Devin were on the board. Let me skip down to here. 2 days after that breakfast, Blue Star Strategies, or Sally Painter, sent a revised proposal contract and initial invoice for Burisma Holdings. Okay. And there's emails out there too in the lead up to this where Vadim was talking to Hunter about getting this meeting scheduled with Sally. Okay. Vadim responded to the contract email saying that the scope was lacking concrete, tangible results that we set out to achieve in the first place, complaining it lacked names as key targets for improving Nikolai's case and his situation in Ukraine. And then he goes on and he says that he understood if the contract didn't represent the scope to be safe and cautious, but as long as all parties understand the true purpose and we're on the same page regarding our final goals, that he would be comfortable moving forward. And then he would then say that the ultimate purpose of the contract was to get widely recognized and influential current and former U.S. policymakers to close down any cases or pursuits against Nikolai in Ukraine. So they wanted people, they wanted Blue Star to help them get widely recognized and influential people to help them close down the investigations that were going on in Ukraine into Burisma's owner, Nikolai Zlovchevsky.
Yes. That's a very impeachable offense by the standards they have set.
Of course.
Hold on. I still have a little bit more. Hunter reassured that Sally understood the whole scope of the contract, said go ahead and sign. They would sign it on 11/18/2015. And then just like 2 weeks later, Blue Star Strategies sat in on a conference call with the White House about the VP's upcoming trip to Ukraine. They sent the minutes of that meeting to Burisma. And then it was just 6 days later that Joe Biden went there and withheld the $1 billion unless they fired Poroshenko. All in a fresh little timeline. And I think you could prove it. I think this is dispositive.
I certainly remember this, and I think that the implications are clear. I mean, you can definitely make the case based upon this this conversation thread here. But I mean, they didn't say I'm bribing Joe Biden with the express belief that I'm going to have these people not be prosecuted. It's the wording is just carefully couched in a certain way so that they have just enough plausible deniability. And still, nothing's happened to it.
Yep.
But I think they should go for it because it's obvious.
Well, it just shows that Hunter's line, compared to that clip that we played.
Yeah.
And so this weird redemption tour, I wonder if he's actually trying to run for VP under Gavin Newsom.
It would not surprise me. And I'm a Yale-trained lawyer. I have a piece of paper from Yale, but I didn't exactly go to school.
That'd be wild.
It would be wild.
2 white guys, though?
Yeah, that's true.
Can the Democrats actually do that in 2028, in calendar 2028?
But it would be funny to see another Trump-Biden rematch, except just a different Biden. 2028.
I would love that.
Yeah, any status updates on how that's going to happen? Trump running in 2028? Like, are there any theories out that are gaining traction? Like, how could that happen?
Well, I don't know. What I've seen and what I talk about the most is Steve Bannon's approach, where he's like, is it against the spirit of the Constitution if he has the will of the people, like the mandate, and he like runs again and they elect him? Like, is that against the spirit of the Constitution? That's what everybody keeps saying is the excuse why he can't do it. So I don't know. No real theory though. But who cares? We don't need no theory. He can just do it.
Yeah. Schwarzenegger was going to do that. Remember that? He was going to run for president and even though he's born, it's like, well, the theory is if the people duly elect him as president, are you really going to say he can't be president?
I don't see how they can.
I say just do it.
I agree, man.
I think it's a great way to test whether our elections are real or not.
So here's the thing. 22nd Amendment limits to 2 4-year terms, but a maximum of 10 years in office. So what if we get to 2028 and there is, I don't know, some sort of crisis which forces President Trump to remain in office for another 2 years, and then it would be legal within the boundaries of the 22nd Amendment.
Yes, I like that theory. That's I'm starting to see some actual rationale behind that.
Yeah. I mean, that would be specifically within the spirit of the Constitution.
And the crisis, what kind of crisis would allow that to happen? That's the big question, right? And maybe that's where it's all silly, but just as a general theory, I think there's there's some things to play with that in the story.
Yeah, I mean, there could be an amendment to the amendment. You know, I mean, let's say against all odds, we get a super majority in after the midterms in both houses of Congress, and something could be done. You know, let's say not rewording the amendment, but or if they did, to do 2 consecutive terms with no time limit, specifically in terms of years. Or if they just repeal the 22nd Amendment altogether.
Yeah.
But then we open it up to people after him coming in that would be shit.
Well, put it back. Well, it's always on a lag, isn't it? Like it's something like that is responding to something that's passed and just winds up screwing you in the future. Whatever you do.
That's true.
Is there anything fun to talk about?
I felt like the news was
there's all those tens of thousands of Moroccans storming the Spanish enclave on the African coast. I thought that was sort of funny.
You mean storming the east coast of Morocco?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's going to wind up with Spain's going to say, "Here, have it back. We don't want it." Morocco.
Why do they have that anyway?
We conquered some of Spain.
Well, because Spain was more powerful than Morocco, and they've been controlling the Straits of Gibraltar for hundreds of years. So I mean, I don't even know when Morocco was founded, but
like this whole big thing here is
Spain used to have Morocco as a colony.
No, did they? Okay.
Yeah, and so did France. It was actually the Spanish had part of Morocco and the French had part of Morocco. And if you travel around Morocco, you can still see both Spanish and French. It's really weird. And then you've got the city of Tangier on the north coast, which was like Mos Eisley spaceport, hive of villainy, and that's really and it's like even the Germans were there in control of it for a while. It's a very weird place built by European expatriates. Morocco is a very strange country. I think I've heard that it was the first nation to actually recognize the independence of the United States.
I believe it was
in 1776. Or maybe after the Treaty of Paris. I don't remember. But
I think I saw it was 1777, but I'll look it up.
1777, yeah.
Matt, how do you pronounce this name here?
I can't read it. What is it?
I'll try to make it bigger.
Yeah, you still can't read. Let's see.
Why is that so?
There's a Dirt Nasty song about this.
Oh, is there?
I don't know how to make it any bigger.
Well, I saw the word Medina. Every city in Morocco has a Medina. So I was there about 10 years ago. I got lost everywhere I went. It was really challenged my travel ability after 35 years of travel. Morocco, man, it beat me up. I just caught me underprepared at every place I went. Oh, Madik. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Matt said it perfectly. He said, "Oh, Madik."
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, I went to Morocco. I have a friend in France, and he's like, "Don't, okay, go to Morocco. You're gonna love it. But and if you want to go into the hash growing regions, don't go any farther than this particular town. And you can buy hash there, but don't go any farther east than that, because people, if you try to go farther east than that, yeah, technically you can, but somebody's gonna come and tell you you shouldn't be here." And the weird thing is, it's like Moroccans, but they're all tall, blue-eyed, and blonde, and they're remnants of the Vandalic Germanic tribes that invaded North Africa in ancient times and then got subsumed by the Muslims. But they've been holed up in the mountains being the hash growers ever since, like these Scandinavian Moroccans. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to go there.
I want to go there so badly now. That's fascinating, man. You got a bunch of blonde-haired, blue-eyed people up in the mountains of
That's
Morocco,
what I've been told.
Just growing hash.
Yeah.
You sure they're not they're not like angels? Like angels incarnate as people?
Well, yeah, could be cover story, couldn't it? But it makes sense from a historical perspective. There was like the barbarian invasions were Germans, and they flooded the Western Empire, and the Vandals took over North Africa. We just don't hear about them today because the Arabs conquered all of North Africa at one point. And it's like, everybody was sort of dissipated and wiped out. It's like, well, if you hole up in the mountains, and there's some really nice mountain valleys in Morocco. It's not just like desert. It can be sort of like Colorado, the high atlases there. They've got some nice fertile valleys and stuff. So in Morocco it's it's an African country. You just getting around it's not so easy. I was on a night bus and I get the cold December air on my feet the whole time, and I'm like, oh, this really sucks.
How long ago was it that you were there?
2014. So yeah, 12 years ago. And I was there in December, which is a really weird time to be there because it's cold. It's cold and rainy there.
Like, how cold does it get?
Well, it's nice in the daytime. It's like night. It was like 70s in the daytime. So I went to Tangier. I was in Gibraltar, and I took the ferry across to Tangier, and then I took the train down to. No, I took the bus to a place called Chefchaouen, and that's on the edge of the hash growing regions in the mountains. And it's a little town, and you can't just buy hash there. You just walk into this cafe and say, "Can I buy some hash?" And I don't like hash, by the way. It just makes you stupid. I tried it. I took the night ferry from Tangier with a guy, an American, and I said, "Oh, I know. I got this hotel in Tangier. You should stay at the hotel I'm staying at." And so he did, but he's like, "I need some hash." He's like, "Let's get some hash." And I'm like, I don't want to go out and get hash in the streets of Tangier. I just got here, I don't know what's going on, And he's like, "Oh, I got to get some hash." So I'm like, "You go get some hash. I'm going to stay here in the hotel," because every hotel in Morocco is like a little fortress. It's called a riad, and it looks like nothing from the street, but just like a door. It's like You're the Cat. You go inside and it's a whole different world inside. But you want to stay inside while you're there, like going outside. Especially in what's called the Medina. The Medinas are the old cities, and I got beaten up. I got not physically beaten up, but just like my pride was certainly beaten up getting lost in Fez. Fez has a really bizarre Medina, and Marrakesh is sane. If you want to, you can go to Marrakesh. It's really sort of laid back now. There's so much tourists there, and the Medina, it's not so easy to get lost there, but you get lost in these things. They're like mazes. It's like some kind of D&D world.
Well, I mean, they certainly don't look like they're built on an American style grid. I mean, it looks like wherever they had room, they were just putting up buildings, and then some of them are a little bit bigger on top than they are on bottom. It's kind of like Mos Eisley. It looks like it's Tatooine or something.
Yeah, and everywhere in the Arab world, this is where the cities are. Like in Algiers, it's called the Kasbah. That's this old city, and that's if you see the Battle of Algiers when the French were there, like going house to house, like rooting out the rebels. That the classic documentary from the 60s. That's in a Medina. It looks the one in Tangier sort of looked like that, and then there's always a more modern section of the city, and you have a shopping like in Fez. It was December, and I got lost and walked a long way in the dark from the bus station, which was in the modern section of town. My hotel, of course, I booked it in the old Medina, and it was like 3-mile walk, and it was dark, and I was getting lost, and I was using my phone data plan to get Google Maps because I was so lost. I was like, where am I going? And I took refuge. There was a shopping mall, which is for Morocco. That's pretty cool to have a shopping mall. And I went inside, and there were Christmas decorations, even though it was a Muslim country, but they had like Christmas trees up. It's sort of weird, but that's okay in Morocco because they're trying to be more tolerant and integrated into the Western world. But I finally got to the Medina, the old city, and I was like, but then I had to find my hotel was somewhere inside this maze in the dark, and I'm like, okay, and I got lost. I basically was begging for directions at one point. Finally found it. Always a nondescript door that you can barely know what's on the other side of these walls, and they knock, and the guy's like, yeah, come in, and he's basically like, why the fuck didn't you call me so I could come get you? Why were you such an idiot to make your way in the dark through the Medina? And I'm like, doy. And so I didn't know that was an option, of course. And I'm fried. I'm like, I can get anywhere, And so I go up to my room, and he's like, everything's shut in for the night. He brings me some olives, and because that's what they do in Morocco. They always bring you olives for every meal, even breakfast. And everything's chill. Got some tea, some hot tea. They always bring you hot tea. It's really nice. And I'm in my room, and the last call to prayer goes off, and I'm in, and I go to my phone. I'm looking at my phone, and it's I start getting the text. You have used $50 of your data plan. And then it was like, and then another one came in like 3 seconds later. Ding! You have used $50 more of your data plan. And then it was like, you have used $50 more of your data plan. I'm like,
oh my God.
It's like how I was like, please don't go on, please stop. And it went up to $600. It took me $300 to find my hotel that night. from my roaming plan because I wasn't on the right data plan. So you live and learn. That's why I say Morocco. It was a challenge, but it was fun. I liked being out of my element. I liked getting lost in a weird way because it's like I can get through this just like the old days. It's a really cool country. It's become a transit hub for a lot of Africa. Goes through Morocco, and the Moroccans are sort of racist against the sub-Saharans who come there, and they're like, we don't want you here, but they're there to sort of be in transit to Europe.
Well, what do you think of what happened? You're from there now, so like this whole story of this invasion, like what's your take on it?
Oh, it's the only question is how much is it's being orchestrated, right? Because I remember Alex Jones back in the day. Eventually, they'll just rush the border with thousands of people, and I'm like, well, that's what they did today. The issue is that there is a land border between Spain and Morocco. There's two of them. There's two, and it's because Spain still has kept the little bits of the coast in two little cities that they acquired during the Middle Ages, during about the time when they were also going to the New World, and conquering North and South America, South America and all that. They were also expanding it. Their first step of empire was actually in North Africa. And they took along a bunch of these coastal cities, and they kept them even after Morocco gave its independence as a kingdom, full independence back as a kingdom. They kept these little enclaves on the coast for whatever reason, and there's these borders that are like 200 yards long in these little rocky outclaps, and like a city of so there's technically a land border, and so there have been people climbing over the fences, and then once they cross the fence, the Spanish courts have ruled they're in Spain. They're in the EU. They're in the Schengen zone. The whole door of Europe is open to them once they do that. So all they have to do is climb over a fence in Africa, and so they were doing that. This has taken it up a notch. This has taken it up to tens of thousands rushing it at once. My understanding is the population of Ceuta, which is the name of this place, it's like 80,000. That's what Wikipedia said, and they were saying tens of thousands rushed it.
100,000.
Oh, geez, that's more. I heard 60.
Yeah.
So is
60
this
was
the last
yesterday.
stand of the globalists with this thing? Or is it just like people? We don't know what's going on, but for some reason it went up a level. It went up a notch.
I'd say. I just wonder what the op is around it here because I just feel it feels like an op. I don't know.
Yeah, it sure does.
Well, I mean, it's the ultimate culmination of what's been going on in Europe for the last 20 years. I mean, this is the natural conclusion of that. Like just the other day, they had said, first of all, what Matt said is correct. I mean, once they get into the European Union, they basically get amnesty for being a refugee. But Spain just announced that they were going to do like a targeted program of like 600,000 refugees. They were going to like essentially give them citizenship. And so as soon as they did that, the King of Morocco let thousands of people out of prison. And there was some special occasion that was happening there. So they let all those people out of prison. And then all of this stuff that you're seeing, the coordination, this is not the first time it's happened. They did it once at large scale in 2021 and then again in 2024. But like this is orders of magnitude greater than what they did before. Those instances, they found that there was some level of coordination using WhatsApp. And now they have all these people who started like TikToks and Instagrams, and they had like 5 Facebook groups with like 230,000 North Africans in them. And they basically just said, okay, boom, now is the time. And then they started going. I have to believe that there is some level of NGO involvement to ensure, that they had such a targeted coordination.
Yeah, the NGOs were running those boats across,
And
maybe they ran out of money for that or whatever. But there's been some kind of signal that we need to accelerate this. This is the time to accelerate this. And Ceuta. So one obvious solution for Spain is just say Morocco take these back. You've wanted them. Morocco's wanted these little enclaves back, and it's the last foothold of any colonial power in Africa. Are these two little spots? And so there's an element of pride about it, African pride, and so it's Pan-African pride. Is Morocco really part of Africa? Well, that's I think it is, but it definitely is. but just get rid of the Europeans at last. And Spain's been holding out. And conversely, of course, Britain's been holding out with Gibraltar on the coast of Spain. It's a really weird situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, so one obvious solution for Spain is just give them, say, Morocco, have them. You wanted them, have them. We don't want these anymore.
Yeah.
And that would solve the problem of that border jumping and rushing. So that, because the Spanish courts literally have, it was leftist courts. This came up in the court in the Spanish system, which was just being in Ceuta or Melilla is the other one, Ceuta and Melilla. Just being on the setting foot in those means you're inside Spain completely officially.
Yeah.
And like you landed in Hawaii, for us, it's like, that's the US, that's Hawaii is just is incorporated territory of the United States. Right.
Yeah.
Whereas the others, you can make a case you're not quite fully there yet, but and so Spain is treating it like that. Spain is treating those things like it's Hawaii to them. So you're there, you're in Spain, and if you're in Spain, you're in the EU, but Spain is being really controlled by leftists right now. Their government, the other countries in Europe are moving rightward.
What do you think
Spain
of this?
Spain moved left.
This is Donald Trump's. He posted this 5 days ago, talking about how much he respects the King of Morocco, and then he pinned it to his profile today.
Wow!
As like the Morocco stuff was heating up, so I thought this was notable.
Yeah,
in the middle of the Spain thing, he pins this.
And the day before this all popped off, President Trump made a public statement about how this type of activity was going to kill the EU. And then all of a sudden, this happens. I mean, this truly is like a self-fulfilling prophecy of where these policies go. And it's if this wasn't NGOs, or perhaps if NGOs were used, but it was actually like Trump's people that were doing this to create a sense of urgency in the European Union to stop these sorts of things from happening. And then also to put the fear of God in Americans, say, look, this is how bad it could be. And Trump certainly is using that messaging as he's talking about these events taking place. That could potentially be another reason why it's happening. And as far as them coming in through the water, they're jumping the fence. They just opened the border because there were so many of them and they were just letting them come in. But when they come in through the water, they look at it as a humanitarian emergency, because you've got all of these North Africans that are taking boats across the Strait of Gibraltar and then coming in that way. But if all they had to do was just go over that little patch of land that's between the last Moroccan city and then Ceuta, and then go in through the water, swim around that fence, come up onto the beach, and then they have to be treated as if they've just made this arduous trip. And then they get special treatment that way.
Disgusting. Do you guys want to watch this video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Check it out.
I've seen it. It's good. I think it's good.
Is that because you're black you think it's good, or what?
No, because I watched it and I thought it was good.
What does a road really connect? Two places? Perhaps. But the roads that shape history connect something far greater. Under the visionary leadership of His Majesty King Mohammed VI, and thanks to the historic courage of President Donald J. Trump, the Moroccan Sahara has entered a new era in the pursuit of peace, dialogue, and prosperity. In 1777, Morocco became the first nation to recognize the United States of America. 9 years later, the Treaty of Peace and Friendship laid the foundation for what remains the longest unbroken diplomatic relationship in U.S. history. For 2.5 centuries, friendship, trust, and dialogue have bound Morocco and the United States. And today, the President Donald J. Trump Highway is its most concrete and lasting expression. Some roads shorten distances, others shape the future. At a cost of nearly $1 billion, this road connecting Tiznit to Dakhla stretches over 1,055 kilometers, making it one of the longest in Africa. The President Donald J. Trump Highway forges a new continuity across Morocco's southern provinces, connecting Atlantic Morocco with its natural African extension. From Tiznit to Laayoune, the highway runs for 555 kilometers, through some of the continent's most spectacular landscapes. A dual carriageway, 16 engineering structures, and Morocco's longest viaduct, turning a natural obstacle into a seamless link. This section connects northern Morocco to Laayoune, one of Africa's emerging Atlantic metropolises.
It's really long.
It's almost over.
Restarting. It's like that's the second time I've heard that.
Does anybody think that sand is going to eventually be a problem? That long
No,
stretch
it is
of
a problem.
highway?
No way, man. No,
That is wild. So that is the subtext is Morocco is using this to really solidify its control over the whole southern section of what is now called Morocco, but has been called the Western Sahara.
Yeah,
which is formally still administered by Spain. It's not integrated into Spain like the coastal cities, but the UN still recognizes Spanish authority as being there. Morocco is the de facto controller of it. There's a civil war inland called the Polisario Front, I think, which is in the inland part of that southern section, Western Sahara, would not be anywhere near this highway, and they'll eventually settle that conflict, I'm sure too. But man, they're going to have this highway eventually all the way down to Dakar in Senegal, definitely going all the way down that Western African coast. What a drive that'll be!
Yeah,
I feel like this is showing the setup of logistics around Europe, going to every part of the world except for Europe. It's just boxing them in and cutting them off from the trade with the rest of the world. That's where I think that's where all the globalists are retreating to.
Yeah. Like the place in Neom in Saudi Arabia, it sort of reminds me of that. But so south of there you've got all the way Mauritania, which is the driest part of the African coast.
I feel like Cam should know more about this than Matt does.
No, man. I'm American first. I've literally never been to Africa. I've been to other countries, never Africa.
He's black, yo. He's black. He's not African.
Yeah. There's a war between Africans and black people in this country. You didn't know that? It's an unwritten
over in Africa too.
War.
They love scamming blacks over in Africa. Like if you're American and you move to Africa, like woe be you.
Well, really? Dude, think about some of the different like white cultures, like European cultures that have feuded with each other for long periods of time. They're not the same people just because they look similar. Trust me, it's very different. It's hilarious.
Just making a comment how based on appearances only, I feel like you would have been the expert, okay? But instead it's Matt, and it's very interesting. Keep going, Matt.
Matt's been there.
Oh, well, yeah, I haven't been south of Morocco in Africa. I'd like to. After Marrakesh, you can head out into the desert, and the people do, and they go on camels there. My grandfather was there in the war. It was really, he was in Operation Torch, the invasion, and it was really cool because I got on the train in Tangier or near there, and then you go along the coast. You're in Rabat and Casablanca, which are modern cities, or like the modern capitals. And but I got to I met this French woman on the train.
Nice.
Who was French? She was French Moroccan, right?
Nice.
And I'm a French Moroccan kid now. I know it somewhere in the world.
No, nothing like that. It was. We were both past our prime, you know. But she remembered when it was more French, and so I was asking her. I was like, you know, what's it like being European, being a European who was born and raised in, you know, French as in Morocco, you know, because that part was, you know, that's the whole plot of the movie Casablanca, right? It's allied territory because France is an ally of the Nazis, right? So all that was made up, by the way, in terms of that movie, that the premise of the movie. But the French there was real, and she was like, yeah, it's weird. She was giving me pointers on like how to deal with the Moroccans, you know, and like what kind of things that it wasn't anything exotic. I don't even remember anything she said, but it was fun. It was like the scene in Apocalypse Now when they're out in the jungle in Vietnam and they go on that plantation. It's all these French people that are there and they're like in denial of the world collapsing around them and their empire. And I'm like, yeah, I love this. This is great. This is why you travel to meet people like that. Yeah. So, but the World Cup is going to be in 4 years. You know, it was just here, but it was US, Mexico, and Canada, all three of them. They're doing the same gag in 4 years, and it's going to be Spain, Portugal, and Morocco as the triple host. So it's going to be multiple continents moving around. So
there
I'm
might
like,
be there might be a war going on by then.
yeah, well,
Maybe we might not
Morocco,
be able
yeah,
to.
get its act in gear, build some stadiums. They're going to build the largest soccer stadium in the world for it, supposedly, Morocco. It's really a coming out party for Morocco this next 4 years. So that when I saw that video from Trump, I'm like, oh yeah, this is a broad initiative to introduce Morocco to the world as a modern nation somehow.
Yeah.
And they've got all the phosphorus there you'd ever need for fertilizers in Morocco. Big key asset on the world asset market.
I did not know that. You know so much about Morocco. I'm like genuinely surprised.
He has his
I
son
guess
there.
it's my little
He
corner
has
of the
his
world.
son there. He goes to visit his son all the time.
Oh, what? I didn't know that.
Oh,
you're being okay.
Did you ever listen to the lyrics of Year of the Cat? That's what it's. Yeah, it's just
No.
like that.
I couldn't tell you who sings that song.
Alf Stewart. Yeah.
Oh,
Never heard
Alf.
of Alf Stewart.
I've seen Alf. It's that alien, right?
Through the blue tiled walls and the market stalls, there's a hidden door she leads you to. Don't bother asking for explanations. She'll just tell you that you came.
Maybe keep going. Maybe
Year of
I'll
the Cat.
remember it at some point.
Never heard it.
Great sax solo. Great. If you like sax solos, it's a great sax song. Just right when you think you've heard all these great guitar solos, then he breaks in with a sax, and you're like, oh my god! It was a great song in 1976, and it still is.
I believe you. I'll take your word for it.
But that's Morocco's just like that. That song. That's it. Sort of. But sometimes you're being led to a hidden door, and it's like some guy, some merchant type, and he wants to sell you some. It's always like some sale. They want to sell you something everywhere you turn, and you get lost in the Medina, and they're like, buy this. It's the strangest indoor mall that's huge, that goes on for miles and miles, but it's an ancient maze, and you're in this tunnel of stuff, and they're selling razor blades, and they're selling beans and
where's this at?
This Marrakesh is probably the best place to see this. Marrakesh is pretty civilized. You can go. People, the Euro girls go down there and party down there in Marrakesh all the time. You just don't want to get too out of hand. Yeah.
Now I know why Matt knows so much about Morocco. Yep. You need to find out where those white women were partying. All right, but we can move on from the white women of Morocco. But somebody else has to think of something to talk about.
Well, I can't stop thinking about the Trumps trying to sell us on going to Morocco. We got Donald Trump. We got
that
Matt
is
Trump.
Wild. Yeah,
they just all want us to go to Morocco right now.
Yeah, me too.
That's how black people got over to the U.S. They saw a boat with some white people on it, and they decided they wanted to go.
It's just weird because when he was talking about the invasion of Spain, which I still think is so silly because that little piece of land is like, it's like just the very tip corner of Morocco. It's so small. Like, how is that Spain's territory anyway?
It would be like Cubans invading
Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I wouldn't care.
Well, I mean, I'm sure the Spanish that live there definitely care. And the Spanish government, I mean, that's a very strategic piece of land. It allows Spain to completely control the Strait of Gibraltar.
Hasn't Trump said a whole bunch of like anti-Spain stuff lately, though?
Absolutely. Yes, because they're commies. Yeah.
They wouldn't let us use their Air Force base during the Iran stuff near the beginning or in the middle of it, I think it was.
That's right.
Yeah.
Here's what Trump actually said about it if you want to listen. Yes. This was today at Camp David.
I saw Spain yesterday, and I watched the catastrophe that took place. It looks like an invasion of a country by hundreds of thousands of people. And that same thing's going to happen to us if the Republicans don't get elected, except worse, much bigger, much easier to get into, despite the fact that we have built thousands of miles of wall, which I said we were going to do, but we didn't have that, forget it. But we have the safest border in the world. If we're not in office, our country will be invaded at levels that made Spain look small time. And when I watched it, I said, boy, I'm going to say it because I knew you were going to be at Camp David. And I say, that's going to be a talking point for the midterms. Because when you look at what happened to Spain, they don't know what to do. And it's happening again today. They're coming in by the tens of thousands. It's just invading the country. And what that is weak law, bad management, but very liberal law. They passed a couple of laws, and people read. You know, people are smart. They read from other countries, and they swam that 3-mile swim or however they got in, but nobody's seen anything like it. That will look good compared to what's going to happen to the United States. The biggest thing, the worst thing that Biden did is allowing 25 million people into our country, because many of those people are criminals. They're murderers. A lot of them, 11,888. A lot of them are gone now. We got them out. But they allowed people to come into this country that you can't allow to come into a country.
There you go.
Yeah. So you had mentioned the Schengen. That's what it's called. That's the like the free range that people have inside the EU. Like you can go from Spain to any other EU nation.
Schengen,
with
yeah.
Schengen.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. So Italy, Finland, and Sweden all essentially like isolated Spain and said you can't be part of our Schengen area, like because they know that
Schengen for you.
Yeah, no Schengen for you because of all of those Moroccans that came over there. They said we've got to isolate Spain, and Ursula von der Leyen even commented on it, which I thought was kind of shocking. But I mean, it, like just as a lesson, it sort of illustrates how the EU has been a failed globalist state, and it's basically destroying it. And I think that Trump, frankly, he doesn't love to see it, but he likes to be right, I think.
Yeah.
I picked up on the midterm. I picked up on the midterm talking point.
Yeah.
Not saying that Trump orchestrated it, people.
Yeah.
Let me be clear about that. But I think that I watched a lot of House of Cards, and even though Frank Underwood was an asshole, he was a very good politician, and never forget to capitalize on a big news story or tragedy.
That's right.
Something crazy.
I agree with you, man. I don't know what else to talk about. I'm looking through Twitter trying to find funny things from this week.
It was slow this week. It was real slow.
Dumb week. We did get an apology from Stephen A. Smith for what he said about Kyrie Irving. There's
I don't even know what that means.
Okay, well, for those who know sports talk, sports ball. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, we have one more sponsor I want to get to real quick, and then I'll show you this video.
Do you have belly fat, high blood pressure, cholesterol, or any others on this list? If you're like most patriots, you don't just have one. It's not you, it's your environment. Big Pharma and Big Food have kept us in fat storage and damage mode. That's where Feel Great comes in. Yellow in the morning to extend your fast and burn fat. Orange before lunch and dinner, putting your body into fat burning and relief. Don't wait. Save $70 and take control of your health today at badlandshealth.com. See results in 90 days or your money back guaranteed.
Unicity, love that stuff. All right. This is Stephen A. Smith. There were some people who said for a while that he might be trying to run for president of the Democrat, like the Democrat Party might be their candidate. He's a sports guy. I think he's an idiot, but he was a guy who was very harsh about Kyrie Irving not getting vaccinated. And here he is making an apology.
There were others who had the courage to say, bump that. And one of those people at the forefront was Kyrie Irving. I bring his name up because I had my issues with him from a leadership standpoint, never as a player because he's sensational, but with him in terms of leadership. And I didn't look at it as being courageous. I looked at it as being selfish. And I watched Dr. Fauci on Capitol Hill yesterday. And the person I thought about most was Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving stood out in my mind because of the heat that he was taking. And now folks were piling on because that was just the latest transgression in their eyes that he was committing and subjecting the public to. He refused the vaccine. New York City's mandate made him ineligible for home games. And he linked his stance to people losing jobs over vaccine mandates. In my opinion, particularly hindsight-wise, it didn't make him stubborn or selfish. It made him brave for his willingness to stand up. and say, nah, I'm not doing that. It's just a time for reflection and look at things differently.
Just like I'm being brave now, doing what everybody else feels comfortable to finally do.
Yeah, why are people changing their minds now? What's going on? Is Fauci's testimony that convicting?
No, that's the thing.
He didn't answer a single thing, Matt. He pled the fifth. Where'd he go?
He did not like what you had to say.
How dare you disagree with me? Andy's
so
he'll come
I
back.
I have a take on it. So first of all, I think that this is a lame attempt to try to recapture whatever like pop culture relevance Stephen A. Smith has. I think it's to bring people back to the establishment. Say, okay, we're throwing Fauci to the wolves now, and we're apologizing to Kyrie Irving. So stick with the Stephen A. Smiths. Listen to what they have to say. They know what they're talking about. That's my first take on it. And then
even if they don't.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Stephen A. Smith is literally just there to try to rope people into whatever side of politics he's pushing. Like, this guy has no idea what he's talking about. It's the same thing in sports. He was the same person that got a whole bunch of people to hate Kyrie Irving for this reason, and now he's trying to get them to apologize. He's just trying to. He's doing a Bill Maher for
redemption tour.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Matt, Fauci pled the fifth 111 times, even though he had an overly broad universal pardon for anything illegal he could have done in that 10-year period over which they could have potentially asked him questions. And I think for anybody who was holding out hope that Anthony Fauci maybe had some good reason to do whatever he did, that was obviously dashed when he wouldn't even address a single thing. And he came out there like some sanctimonious prick when he talked about all of his accomplishments and his time in public service and how many other times he's been willing to testify, but, you know, he won't do it now. The real irony is that he put himself in more legal jeopardy because he didn't have the right to plead the Fifth Amendment. Like, if you take the pardon, then you can't incriminate yourself if you're answering questions about the crimes you've committed. And so, you know, I think it really the reason that he didn't want to answer anything is because his ego is so much bigger than he actually is.
Yeah, I think the take that makes the most sense in terms of why he pled the fifth is he could still be charged at the state level, and the pardon only covers the federal.
Well,
offense.
I suppose, yeah, but
but also
why
delegitimization.
is Stephen A. Smith changing his mind? Why is he?
Like Cam said,
are those two things connected?
Oh, Matt was gone during that part. I forgot.
I'm sure, for everybody who had the absolute wrong take back during COVID, telling people to like get vaccinated and telling people to like mask up and like all those things, they can't go back and change what they said, and so their only option to save face is to issue or offer some sort of half-assed apology,
mea culpa,
and that's what I see this as. For him, it's like some sort of mea culpa. Now, there's a whole bunch of people.
It's like he's taking the opportunity of Fauci's screwed up testimony to throw Fauci under the bus now when it's like he has a plausible excuse to do it instead of being caught on the wrong side of this later on. It seems a little calculating for him to do this right now.
Sure, yeah, for 100.
Yeah, which is fine. Do whatever you have to do, dude. You know, just right. I would have told them all to do that years ago. Run for the hills be the first one out of the boat. Because this boat's going to go down. The sooner you get out, the better. You're going to take some flack from your fellow whatever, but you'll get cred before that. At some point, the door's going to close, and the people who haven't repented are not going to look good.
Yeah, there's this whole thing. The last couple of days, people have been talking about the COVID amnesty topic that kept getting brought up way back like 2 years ago after the initial wave of like, okay, well, maybe we were wrong about how COVID went down. And somebody wrote an article in Politico. We talked about Wednesday, talking about pandemic amnesty. And so that's like kind of the crossroads we're going to be coming to is, are we going to allow that? Or are we going to, give a more of a middle finger approach to some of these people?
I think a middle finger. I mean, the people who are suggesting amnesty are the people who need amnesty.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Well, for me,
there has to be some sense of justice having been done about it. Or it's just, no, you can't have amnesty without some sense of justice.
I agree.
My thing is if you're not a public figure, you're just someone in someone's personal life, you come and apologize, I think that can be accepted. When you're out there and you've been pushing an entire agenda for over 4 years, like the only time these people started to save face was when Trump got back into office. They thought they were safe during the Biden time, and they were still pushing the same stuff. So like for me, it's all fake and contrived because they're only doing it because midterms are coming up.
Yeah, there's nothing genuine about this. And the thing about Fauci is, I mean, if he could have, not shown up or like found some other excuse to not be there and not answer questions, or he could have, found a way to weasel his way through those questions. But everything that he wrote in his papers about what was happening during the pandemic, and then all of his emails and all those things, I mean, all of that is enough to charge him at the state level. They don't necessarily need him. He's still in legal jeopardy no matter what. And I'm proud to say that Florida is the first state that's actually going to be investigating, hopefully bringing charges.
Oh boy, Zach, that's all you, man.
I'm about it.
I don't know. The whole pardon thing, though, is if they keep, I'm curious to see which path they go down, because if they go down the path of like, oh, well, he wasn't allowed to say, plead the fifth or whatever because he was pardoned, are they like de facto trying to legitimize the pardons? Because I thought we weren't going to try to do that. I thought it was either the auto pen or even more so the fact that the election was stolen.
It has to be delegitimized through a court case. That's the only way it can do it. And I think what President Trump is doing, he's saying, I'm not going to push it. Okay. That doesn't mean that the DOJ isn't going to independently come out once Todd Blanche is confirmed, and actually say, okay, well, it is the position of the U.S. Justice Department based upon the fact this testimony, this person didn't know what they were auto penning. Joe Biden didn't know about it. This pardon is null and void. It will be challenged. It'll have to go through some type of a court process. But President Trump standing back and say, I'll respect it. I'm not going to push it anymore. I mean, that doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. Yeah. But, I mean, at the very least, it would not be Rand Paul's place to, make a decision on the legitimacy of that pardon or not. The only thing that he can do is, request to hold him in contempt. He's already attempted to have Fauci criminally referred on multiple occasions, despite the fact that pardon exists. So I think that it's quite clear he doesn't think it's legit.
Yeah. But I also don't expect Congress to be the ones to solve this problem.
Well, no, of course not. No.
Call me old-fashioned. But...
No. Well, I mean, they've only got so much power to do anything at all, and usually they're using it to F us in whatever way they can.
What do you mean? What do you mean by F?
I mean, fuck. They're fucking us at every juncture that they possibly can.
So aggressive.
Unbelievable. I thought we were getting over that. I thought we were done swearing.
Well, that's what I was trying to do, John. I thought about you.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, like here's a great example. And the reason I'm talking about this now is because normally I don't care to talk about these mainstream psyops that are getting pushed, but we had the backyard neighbors, blowtorch kids, dad and family and everybody came over for some dogs and burgers tonight. And the dad brought up the Fauci hearing and some of the stuff that he saw on social media. And I just thought it was interesting. He was like talking about like, could you believe Fauci and what he said? Like he didn't say anything, but that's like such a dead giveaway that he's guilty.
That's beautiful.
It like blew his mind. And this is like, I would say normie, conservative, doesn't follow Badlands, but is aware of what I do. But I want to play this clip too, just to bring everybody back to 2020 and 2021 and remember the propaganda and what it was like.
You are the problem. It is the unvaccinated who are the problem.
True. Maybe they should be shamed, but the unvaccinated.
It's time to start blaming the unvaccinated folks, not the regular folks.
We can't trust the unvaccinated.
The unvaccinated, a group that includes children and people acting like children.
When are we going to stop putting up with the idiots in this country and just say, it's mandatory to get vaccinated?
Oh, you can't shame them. You can't call them stupid. You can't call them silly. Yes, they are.
Those who are not vaccinated will end up paying the price.
The unvaccinated should be taxed. They should pay more for health care.
We need to start looking at the choice to remain unvaccinated the same as we look at driving while intoxicated.
Really, the only people dying are the unvaccinated. And for those of you spreading misinformation, shame on you.
We've got to shun folks. We've got to shun people into getting.
To shun those that refuse to get vaccinated.
The unvaccinated people have put us in the position that we're in now, and it is not a good place. You got to start telling people, if you don't get vaccinated, you can't come into this office or this place of business. If you don't get vaccinated, you can't come to work.
No, screw your freedom.
Freedom is a fragile thing, and it's never more than one generation away from extinction.
The man come not from the generosity of the state, but from the hand of
Crazy.
Yeah, this is exactly why I feel it's totally appropriate to go scorched earth on those people. You know, I mean,
just play that on a loop
yeah.
and we win. That it's all there. You know, that's just a great bit of short film. It's like putting on the glasses and They Live, you know, it's like, oh my God, these people are skeletons, you know, I always hoped we'd get to this point where all you had to do was show the old footage. And I think we're there because the vibe of it sticks out so much now that I can see normies seeing this. They're putting on the They Live glasses too, a little bit now from that.
You know, a lot of people, I think, truly forget what it was like during COVID. Like even myself, like I don't think about what it was like during COVID, like during that time period on a day-to-day basis. Like there has to be something that specifically makes me think about it. I was like, oh yeah, that sucked. That was awful. And this is like a moment in time where these videos are circulating again. Even my neighbor said, he's like, man, I had forgotten what it was like during COVID. So it was like interesting to see Fauci and the video clips that have come out afterwards, because it was like a good reminder of the bullshit they put us through. That was from him. It's super interesting. But yeah, we should be angry. People in the chat are angry again. I think that's okay. But anyway, if you guys have nothing else to talk about, we can do rants.
Let's do rants. Don't forget boosts.
Jeez, bossy. Okay, by the way, real quick, this next coming, it's not this coming Sunday, it's the next one. We are going to be doing a Badlands meetup in Jupiter, Florida. I'm going to be there. CanCon will be there. JB White will be there. All your favorite Florida Badlanders will all be there. August 9th in the afternoon. You have to RSVP to get the full details of the location and time of the meetup. So be sure to RSVP at badlandsmeetups@gmail.com. Badlandsmeetups@gmail.com. Let me check the boosts real quick. I don't know if we got any for tonight. I don't think we do, but we got some rants. And I'll have to check YouTube. All right. Snowcat Operator gifted a subscription. Thank you very much. Will to push forward says, Zach, you got me there. Good one. You talking about your divorce story?
Yeah.
What a savage cold opening.
It was. Keith O'Higgins says, fat women and mopeds are both fun to ride till your friends see you. That was a good one. Keith O'Higgins again. Are those Kuna people the ones who talk during movies at the theaters?
Yes, Keith.
All right. Principled Enigma says, was it Reagan that created devolution? The concept of continuity of government was started by Eisenhower, not Reagan. Yes. Rave Daddy 523, Zach, why is the shelves behind you empty? Are you rearranging?
Yeah, I am switching around my studio this weekend. So I have this desk is falling apart, so I have a new one and I'm putting it together, and it is a different configuration, so I have to change everything up.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Principled Enigma says, I served in Morocco for 18 months between 1972 and 1974 and was in the Katama mountain range you're talking about. Because of that, I spent time in the Tanger prison. You went to prison, bro?
Is that Tangier?
Tangiers.
Yeah,
that sounds awful.
I like Tanger.
Tanger's the outlets.
Sounds like the Midnight Express, if you ever saw that movie. That took place in Turkey. But
wait a second. Principled Enigma, are you saying that like you were stationed there and so you worked in the prison, or you were like rounded up by the Moroccan authorities and placed in the prison?
He says here, I was stationed at the Kenitra Air Force Base and lived on Media Beach.
Okay.
Yeah, but that doesn't.
But he could have like gotten way too drunk or something like that, and then still been arrested and thrown in there.
Are you saying you were a wild man or woman, Principled Enigma, or are you saying that you worked there?
Ballsy41 says, did they talk about Annie Jacobson talking about devolution on Joe Rogan? We did mention that.
Yes.
But we're going to go more in depth tomorrow on the Power Hour, so tune in. The Boom Diggity for $50. Thank you so much, Boom.
Hey, Boom.
Very generous.
Thank you.
Pull up the House of Dragons in Ceuta, Spain. Ooh,
Matt, do you know anything about that?
Casa de los Dragones. Casa.
Okay, Zach, let's get a Spanish reading of this.
Yeah.
All you got to do is share it.
Oh, whoops. I thought I did. I was like, what are you doing, Zach?
House of the Dragons is a landmark in the Spanish enclave of Ceuta on the north coast of Africa. An example of eclectic architecture. The house is on a corner of King Square. How far do you want me to go?
I don't know, probably this entire thing.
Okay,
No, I'm just kidding. We don't have to read the whole thing.
Okay. Commissioned in 1900 by Francisco Cerné Gonzalez, mayor of Ceuta, between 1897 and 1903, in partnership with his brother Ricardo. The building was designed by Valencian architect Jose M. Cortina Perez and completed in 1905.
Okay, let's get down to.
What is it, like a Chilean accent? Where is that?
I don't know, dude. I just know that they go the hard S. The S's are like.
It's pretty sweet looking. I want this on my house. Like,
yeah,
that's a
cool
great
house,
exterior. So cool.
Now there's like drunk Moroccans all partying up on there now. They're like riding on the dragons. Ah!
And then they're stabbing each other in the necks as well occasionally.
No doubt.
Keith O'Higgins says, I think Matt likes the idea of getting lost because he never ended up on a milk carton.
I do like getting lost and finding my way out. It seems to be the habit or game I play with myself.
That is awesome. Emerald Dragon for $2. People who operate street sweepers are going to be the new oil tycoons along that new highway.
Yeah, that was the first thing I thought. Like, I mean, like, there, because I mean, unless there's no wind, unless those sand dunes are not shifting, that seems like that's just going to be a major logistical issue.
Well, that's the coming out of Morocco as a like a real modern nation will keep the sand off its highways. It's not like a big mystery how to do that. It just requires organization and willpower. And so, can Morocco, as an African nation, have its act together enough to do that? I think that's sort of the whole point. I think.
Maybe that's
what do you think they get for illegal labor?
Yeah, Mauritanians and the Senegalese probably.
There you go. The Final Demand gifted 10 subs. Thank you so much, Final Demand. A counterinsurgent. I can envision a soft disclosure ad with Matt Trump as the most interesting man in the world.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I could see that too.
Oh, that sounds perfect.
It's a great idea. Duffy's Tavern. There are a lot of people who did the correct thing, and wow, brave. Don't know what. I can't open Facebook, so Zach, you're gonna have to open that.
I don't have Facebook. What are you talking about?
I can't even open Facebook.
Yeah, I can't either, dude. It's gonna tell me to log in.
Matt,
it caught me. I got pulled back into freaking Facebook after 10 years deactivated account because I wanted to see something on it, and it logged me in, and all of a sudden I started getting messages from it. I was like, oh my gosh, no.
You fell for it.
Yeah, I didn't want to delete my account because my late mother, she posted a lot of stuff towards the end of her life, and I was like, I don't want to erase that yet. But so I left it deactivated. Your photos grayed out. And your friends, like they defriend you. But I got pulled back in, and I'm like, oh no. And so I actually made a post after 10 years, and I came out of, and then I got off. So it's like, okay, that's it. 10 years, I'll do it again.
12 Indie Boy for $5. Good to see you, Ty. Says, after watching the back to school soft disclosure ad, JC and I have to change our love story. We didn't start dating after GART 1. We started dating in middle school. That's funny. And then Susie Q20, I have an African gay parrot, and the F word I fear are his next word. Thanks, man.
It's a gray parrot. I don't know that gay. Parrots.
African grays, it could be gay. It could be gay. Who knows?
Well, whatever. I've heard it both ways.
Susie Q is your parrot gay.
Salbish and Miss Rhea Freedom Fighter both gifted subscriptions. Thank you so much, you guys. ZBM Matt, speaking of the longest lasting and first treaty between U.S. and Morocco, the Fat Electrician did an awesome history YouTube video on it. Would highly suggest all y'all watch it. Love you all. Cheers.
Right on. Thank you, ZBM.
Morocco's the country of the moment, evidently.
Yeah. Salbish, Cam, Jackie wants you to tell everyone about the August 9th Georgia meetup. Also, multi-state meetup in Maryland on August 29th.
Yes. Thank you,
Thank
Salbish.
you, ZBM.
Hey, John, will you pull up my screen real quick?
I mean, if I have to.
If you just don't mind. It's for the meetup.
There you go.
All right, guys. Sunday, August 9th at 3 p.m. at Mazzy's Sports Bar and Grill in Marietta. You can RSVP the Telegram group, the HBIC Telegram group, or Jackie Espada at protonmail.com. And you can go to the Badlands website to events and then scroll down to meetups if you need it.
Nailed it. Good?
Yeah.
All righty. We can go back to here. We just got a couple more. The final demand for $20. Thank you so much. Says Fauci made my mom break the law for the first time in her 66 years to steal a vax card from her facility for me in case it came to needing proof of vax to have a life. Vaxxers deserve being shit on.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And what a badass mom you've got.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And then Principal Enigma says the Katama mountain range is where all the hash is grown. 4 American CBs from the Kenitra Air Force Base, including myself, were framed by the Moroccan authorities. Oh my gosh!
Oh,
so you were.
that's
in jail.
why you were in prison.
All right.
Whoa.
Principal Enigma, yeah.
That's hardcore, bro.
I
It's
did
not a
take
country
it
where you
wrong.
want to screw around with the law.
Were they white or were they African? Because Matt says that they're the blonde-haired, blue-eyed people up there.
Yeah, I don't know if those are. I don't know. That's what my my plausible friend said.
I don't want to judge, but I'm guessing not so much. But you know,
That is wild. But anyway, that's oh, do we have a couple more here? Duffy's Tavern. Okay, here, and then there's a YouTube link. Okay.
oh, that's for the Facebook post probably that we couldn't see.
Probably. Oh, and it's
you have to share it
or something that wasn't clear in the first place. And then you all create a shot in miraculous time.
It's talking about Fauci's pushback.
Well, I heard that it doesn't cure it and it doesn't stop you from getting it.
No.
So
on the very, very, very rare chance that you do get it, even if you're vaccinated, it's you don't even feel sick. It's like you don't even know you got infected.
What a liar. What? He knows he doesn't believe that.
Wow, that's infuriating.
Fauci really is getting thrown under the bus. That's great to see.
Yes.
Yeah, he really is.
Yeah. If all they do is send him away to some bad fate, at least we'll get that. I don't know, because it seems like they're prepping for it.
Yeah, Principal Enigma followed it up with for possession of hash we did not have.
Oh yeah, I believe
That's
it.
crazy. And then Duffy's Tavern again says, "Ops, skip that next time." Yeah, I thought it was really good. So thank you for sending that in. G Founders 119. I'm highly pissed over COVID. My Tampa Bay Buccaneers had their first season with Brady at QB. Had 0 fans for first 2 home games. Was halfway into October before allowing 15K only season ticket holders. That is nuts. Nuts that they did that. But with that, guys, that's all the rants. Cam, what time's your show tomorrow? You're muted, Cam.
7:30 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay. Awesome. And I'll be back tomorrow, 10:30 p.m. Eastern on the Power Hour with Chris Ball. Zach, do you stream tomorrow?
I don't stream this weekend. I'm going to be doing my studio this weekend, so I won't be on the air. But we'd also
divorce papers in line.
Yeah. We got 2 jewels from Benton 72 and 10 jewels from CG Riley, and I'm just realizing where it says sparkles and then hers says happy poop. That must come with like an emoji or some type of like animation or something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, happy poop back at you. We're going to get out of here with our intro video because I love it so much. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you, boys, for joining me. We'll see you all tomorrow.
Later,
Bye-bye.
y'all.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am officially running for President of the United States, and we are going to make our country great again. Watch it. Watch those ballots. Watch what's going on. We all going to watch the fucking video. Do you understand that? To peacefully and patriotic vagina.
You know, none of this is real, right?
You, sir, can be a bag of dicks.
Give me liberty or give me death!
Baby, see you in the OnlyLands.